Yo people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for another video. Big up your damn selves in the building. Make sure you smash up the lights every single damn time and subscribe if you are new. Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest preview. And we need to finish off this fantastic home winning run that we're on. Way back when, first home game in this run, I said 4 from 4. 4 from 4. Favourable fixtures, this is what we must do. And we're this close to doing it. One last push before the international break and we will be there. We will be there, guys. But I've been nervous in this run. I'll be honest, I've been very nervous because there is a expectation, there is a weight, a pressure on our shoulders to perform, to win these games because we are favourites and we need to accept that responsibility. And we've done very well. But we're almost there. We've got to treat this game with respect. We've got to take this very seriously because after the international break, it's difficult. And I'm looking forward to it. But we need to put ourselves in a good position. We need to go in with maximum confidence, maximum points. And as I'm recording, if we need more warning, Arsenal, they were struggling with Southampton. Looks like they're going to go on to win the game. Let's see. But they've been struggling with it. So don't take anyone lightly. Don't take anyone lightly. Don't take the piss. Nottingham Forest, they beat Liverpool at Anfield. They've got a good team for the counter-attack. They've got pace in the wide areas. A former player of ours included in that. And defensively, they've got the joint second best defensive record in the league and the third, before the weekend kicked off at least, third least XG conceded. So, you know, it's not a joke. This is going to be a low block. It's Nuno. It's going to be a physical game from them because they've got those type of players and we've got to cope. We've got to deal with that threat. We've got to counterbalance that. And I think we can. Listen, I think we can. The mood in the squad is high. Dewsbury Hall had a fantastic interview after the Conference League win, kind of explaining, expressing his confidence with those players that he's playing with and enjoying his football right now, even though he's not part of the Premier League team. You know, as per usual, lovely little clips going about, but we need this win badly. And there are a few little things in the selection that I'm going to talk to you guys about because, listen, I think there's a couple of places up for grabs. There's some good performances from the Conference League that could be potentially taken into this game. Maresca did say just because you're playing on a Thursday doesn't mean you can't play on a Sunday or a Saturday. So let's see. But first of all, with his presser, he did mention that we're not ready to compete with City and Arsenal. Probably the most important quote in the presser. And I think the timing is perfect because if you say this when we're 12th and 10th, people they're not hearing it. They're not understanding it. We're not ready. They've been here for 9 years, 6 years, 5 years, and people are like, excuses, excuses, excuses. We're Chelsea. Where are the standards? And, you know, timing is a bitch. But when you're doing well, when you're winning, when you're in fourth, when you could potentially go up the table with a win in this match, depending on other results, I'm not too sure. Probably not actually if the Man Cities and the Arsenals win their games today. But point being, we're in a good feeling. We're in a good position. And right now, it's actually about putting some realism on the expectations and settling people down who are now saying, oh, are we in a title race or can we're not in a title race. I would love us to be in a title race. I would love nothing more. And I'm not really a title race person. I'm more of a, well, let's win the title. If you're going to be in a title race, we're here to win. We're not here to finish second and pat ourselves on the back and say, oh, we gave it our best shot. We're here to win, but we're not involved. I can promise you that we're not involved. The manager said it. I completely agree with him. But like I said, it's the timing. The fact that the mood is good. The fact that we're winning. The fact that the football looks good. It's the timing. But I have been looking forward to the international break as well. Even though people say, oh, we're in a momentum, this international break couldn't have come at a worse time. Not in my opinion. I think it comes at the perfect time. If we win this game, which I've predicted us to do so, but it will be tough, you get your points on the board. You've done a bit better than even the general consensus would have been that we would do this season at the start. And we've put our points on the board. But perfect time to regroup, perfect time to, finalize those details defensively and fix those bits of build-up play or errors, etc. Tighten up on things because we're not perfect. We still have things to improve and we're going to need to improve those things, especially with the games we've got coming up. So I think it's a great time for us to all just take a breather and be like, we did it. We got through that patch. So it is one last push until the international break. I do agree with the manager, but like I said, I think the timing is perfect for him. Not so perfect at other times, like I said in the previous seasons, when really people would say exactly the same thing. But like I said, the timing of it is not so good. So yeah, Nottingham Forest defensively this season, they're a problem. Keep an eye on them in this game. Low block, congested. trying to wait and look for those opportunities on the break? And how do we tinker our team to kind of suit that situation? Now, on the right wing, there's an argument to say Neto could start because Madueke's not really been playing very well in the previous games. He's not really been in form. And I think Neto deserves his opportunity to start in the Premier League now when we signed him. You guys know I was very excited about signing him because I think he's polished. You know, he's a player that can go both ways on the dribble. He's a player that can score goals. I know the shooting in the first half of the Conference League game, I was actually quite disappointed, even though he's doing everything else right. His little link-ups with Felix and whatnot, but his shooting was very scuffed, or it wasn't hit the way that I know he can hit them. Obviously, then scores his goal, which was very well taken. But there is a side to him where he can shoot. And I think he more than deserves to start in this game. It would be alongside Cole Palmer and alongside Sancho, with Jackson up front, I'm sure. Nkunku got his goal, but wasn't heavily involved. Is that due to us not being able to service him, or is that just due to a little bit of him being a bit too static? I don't know, but he wasn't at his brilliant best despite the goal. So I don't think that was enough for him to get into this 11. It's already difficult enough after hat-tricks that he can't get into the 11 for the Premier League. But Neto would be the one change I would look to make in that front four. I think the midfield has got to stay as it is. Lavia, probably not ready to start. Again, wait until the international break. Wait for him to really fully get amongst it in training. Back sessions, and then hopefully he can be really in contention after that. So it would be Enzo and Caicedo again. And then you look at the defence and you think to yourself, well, I'm sure Gusto comes back in, right? I'm sure Fofana and Cole will come back in. And Cucurella has been absolutely brilliant. Make no mistake, Cucurella has been absolutely brilliant. But there is something I want to mention with Renato Vega, right? I was on Alex Goldberg's playback the other day, and he was asking me, he's doing a game with all of his guests where if you had to pick 10 Chelsea players, only 10, and they were here for the next 10 years, who would you pick? And obviously, I would like to pick more than 10. I rate more than 10 of our players, but this was just based upon me leaving people out due to maybe injury concerns or, you know, things like that, where I don't know if I'm going to get full fitness from them. Reece James, I left him out. Haven't seen him in a while. Not fully fit. There's a question, there's a doubt. So I had to make tough decisions. One person I included in that 10, which shocked people, was Renato Vega. And ever since this guy came to the club, ever since we signed him, I've just had good vibes, good feelings. And the performance that he put in, I know I spent most of the review praising Mudryk. I'm trying to make sure that Mudryk got his shine in that review because it's not very often he does. You know me, I'm a big critic of Mudryk, so I was laying it on extra for him, right? Renato Vega, you know what I think of this kid. You know, when he signed, I was actually really happy with the signing. I thought it was a perfect profile for us in regards to what we needed from attributes. And he's just been brilliant. He was absolutely sensational midweek. He got a goal airily, obviously unchallenged, but still, it's something that this team has needed. A little bit more physicality, a little bit more aerial threat on set pieces. I think he could be one of those guys that brings that to the side over time. And he's a shithouse. And he wins his ground duels and his aerial duels. He gets stuck in. And on the ball, he's very good. He's very good. He's very, very composed and very, assured with what he's doing on the ball. He's not a liability. So I'm not saying that Cucurella is going to be taken out of this team for this game, because I don't think he will. But what I'm trying to say is we're at home, we're up against a low block, and we're up against a team that want to counterattack. And they're a physical team. Renato Vega, physically, doesn't look like he's going to be bullied. And obviously, on the fact that we're playing a low block, and last season we lost to them 1-0, we had plenty of shots, but couldn't get most of them on target. Right now, we've been in our goal-scoring form. We've been flying in front of goal. But we are due maybe to have one of those days. Hopefully, it's not tomorrow. Hopefully, Cole Palmer is how many, and he can get himself 2 goals, 2 assists, a hat-trick, 1 assist, whatever. We've got the individual quality to not have to struggle. But if we do, we need to be able to get into our set piece bag. We need to be able to be a bit of a, bully in this instance and try to go back and forth with them on the physical side. And Renato Vega could offer that. Not only should he be great in transition in that back three, if he was to push Augusto forward or invert Augusto into midfield, but on the set pieces as well, or on that side of things, he would do more than Cucurella. So, like I said, Cucurella has been brilliant, but I really like what we've got at left back right now. We've got a perfect partnership of competitiveness going on. Cucurella, experienced, technically sound right now, doing brilliantly for us, stuck in, leading by example, putting in perfect performances. But just in case you thought your position was completely sealed off, it's not. You got a young, hungry, tenacious kid that is just breaking barriers right now and looking good every time he steps onto the pitch. Was probably man of the match, to be fair, in midweek. But I tried to give it to Mudryk because, like I said, I was just trying to do the most. And his performance was really good. Mudryk was really good. I wasn't, you know me, I don't just praise for no reason when it comes to anyone, but especially Mudryk. So he was very good. But Renato was brilliant, to be fair to him as well. So, yeah, I'm not saying he's going to start, but listen, Cucurella, just make sure that you're on your job. Keep being on point, because this kid is coming for your position. He's really not playing games. So yeah, I just want to bring him up, because if he does start, he's not going to, but if he did start, I wouldn't have no problem with it, I'll be honest, because he would bring something different. But yeah, that's the kind of positions that I'd look at. Sancho against a low block is absolutely vital on that left-hand side, picking the lock, picking the pockets, the little link-ups, the give and goes, the key passes, the perfectly weighted passes. He's going to be needed. Mudryk did well, but he didn't do that much to go and step in front of Sancho. Not in this type of game, especially. And you've got Alangas and Hudson-Odoi to deal with, of course, on the break, and whoever else they might decide to throw at us. I'm pretty sure Gibbs White might be back from suspension. I'm not too sure. So tough game, must win, big game, but as long as we respect the opposition, as long as we don't get complacent like we saw from our defence in midweek, it will be different defenders. Everybody stay switched on. Everybody respect the competition that is the Premier League. Sanchez, no more bozo moments today. No more bozo moments in this game. I don't want to see any basketball, little flappy, collected crosses. I don't want to see no stupid passes into opposition players out from the back, or putting our players under pressure that they're not ready for. They're not really looking like they can receive certain passes from you. Just no individual errors. Because if we go a goal down in this game, it's not like Brighton where they're playing the highest line and they're letting balls constantly go over the top and they're just here to do a back and forth punch for punch. If we concede first to Nottingham Forest, they will park that bus and they will make it incredibly difficult. And we don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. you don't have time for that. Nobody wants to see that. So yeah, that's all I've got to say. Enzo Fernandez could be critical in this game, of course. Low block, key big passes need to be played from him. The manager did speak about wanting a 6, maybe a different type of 6, a more physical 6. People have, brought Okachuku to the table or said Andre Santos, why not him? No. Santos, first of all, is an 8. He's a box-to-box midfielder. If you watch him at Strasbourg, the guy is affecting both ends of the pitch, but don't try and shoehorn him into something more restricted. If we're going to get a 6, let's get it will have to be a Lavia or maybe an Okachuku, even though he was a box-to-box before, in France. But if the manager needs a 6, if he needs a physical DM, but a tidy one at that, maybe he wants a Zubamendi, I don't know, or maybe he would want, just a 6. Then get him a 6. Don't be too stubborn to say, listen, we've got great midfielders. They're all technically fantastic and secure and easy on the eye. However, when you put it all together, it's not quite what the manager and many managers want. They have to compromise too much. They have to try and make it work. When really, let's just allow our attackers to express themselves. And actually, if we just got that one enforcer who's also great on the ball, who can also pick a pass, let's not sabotage that side of the game. Then who knows? We could unleash and we could relish the opportunity to just be a little bit more expansive. Who knows what that could bring? So all I'm saying is I'm open to all ideas. If the manager needs something, let's listen, because at the end of the day, we're here to win titles. We're not here to pick and choose our favourites and make sure everything all looks good on our team sheets and 11s. I need to win. That's what we're here for. So yeah, pick up your damn selves, smash up the likes, make sure you subscribe, and let me know. Would you start Neto at right wing? Pretty sure you'd keep Cucurella in there. But like I said, Renato Vega doing his thing. And yeah, let me know what you thought about the manager's thoughts in regards to no title race. No time for title race this season. It's unfortunate, but I think it's facts. Big up your damn selves in a bit, people. Peace.